welcome and Ijoma Onyato tonight. President Goodluck Jonathan fires Inspector General of Police, appoints DIG Suleiman Abba as new helmsman. Former Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Komasi says the sack of Suleiman Abba is suspicious. Ondo House of Assembly issues impeachment notice to the Deputy Governor. And former Egyptian President Mahama to spend 20 years in jail.
Nigeria Natural Gas plans to reduce cooking gas price further.
Nigeria Football Federation and Stephen Keshi agree a fresh 2-year deal, ending weeks of speculation regarding the future of the Super Eagles.
It's barely a month to the handover of power to the President-elect, and the Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba, will not be there in his capacity as the Chief Police Officer, as the Presidency this morning announced that he's been sacked and ordered him to hand over to his deputy. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba, becomes the Acting Inspector General of Police, and this takes immediate effect. Until his appointment as Mr. Abba's replacement, Mr. Abba was the head of the Force Criminal Intelligence and Investigation Department. The Special Assistant to the President on Media, Dr. Ruben Abate, broke the news via his Twitter handle today. Well, after the story of the IGP sack broke, we reached the President's Senior Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, that's Dr. Ruben Abate, for confirmation. Dr. Abate did confirm Mr. Abba's removal as Inspector General of Police, saying it's the President's prerogative to hire and fire his officials.
The statement that we issued is clear enough, it's self-explanatory. The President has relieved Mr. Suleiman Abba of his appointment.
Senior Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Dr. Ruben Abate. And a one-time Inspector General of Police, Alhaji Ibrahim Komasi, has been speaking on the sack of Mr. Abba. He told us today in Kaduna that the sack is very suspicious. He insisted that President Jonathan should have allowed Mr. Abba to continue in office until the incoming government determines his fate.
Chairman of Arewa Consultative Forum. The IG who has just been sacked is a northerner, and therefore the North will be disturbed by his termination of appointment. 1. 2, the time of the termination is suspect. What has he done? If it is to do with the election, why was he not allowed to continue until the end of the election? And why now? And then has the due process been served to question whatever mistakes or he has made? 3, in a situation like this one, another government is coming in to serve.
Mr. Suleiman Abba was appointed the 17th Indigenous Inspector General of Police by President Goodluck Jonathan. Mr. Abba became the Acting Inspector General on August the 1st, 2014, following the retirement of his predecessor, Mahama, after 35 years of public service.
As Acting Inspector General, Suleiman Abba had his work cut out for him. He assumed office at the height of the insurgency attacks in the northeast zone of Nigeria, and his men were drafted to join the war against terrorism. Equally a big challenge at the time the IGP took over is the issue of ending corruption in the service, and he came prepared.
This meeting is going to be an eyeball-to-eyeball, heart-to-heart discussion.
The major assignment of the IGP since taking over 6 months ago is the deployment of his men for the 2015 general election, and the police have been commended for that exercise.
I want to commend the electorate for their conduct. They have been quite orderly, not only from what I have seen, but also from what I heard from the managers of the election, that's the INEC officials, as well as from my colleagues, the security and law enforcement agents.
Mr. Abba became Acting Inspector General on August 1, 2014, following the retirement of his predecessor, Mohammed Abubakar, after 35 years of public service. He was confirmed substantive IGP on November 4, 2014.
Our mission is to provide safety and security in Nigerian communities, protect and respect human rights, and promote community partnership in preventing and controlling social disaster.
Mr. Abba was until that appointment an Assistant Inspector General, AIG, in charge of Zone 7 Command, a position he occupied since May 25, 2012. He was also a former aide-de-camp ADC to the wife of the former military head of state, Miriam Abacha. With his removal, Mr. Abba will proceed on the forced retirement 4 years before he attains retirement age. He enlisted in the Nigerian police as Cadets ASP on December 31, 1984, and is actually due for retirement on March 22, 2019.
To politics now, and if the allegations are found to be true and the impeachment process is seen to the end, then it means that the days of Mr. Ali Olanusi as the Deputy Governor of Ondo State are numbered. Today, 20 of the 26 lawmakers in the Ondo State House of Assembly have signed an impeachment notice on the Deputy Governor, accusing him of gross misconduct and 6 other offences. The other allegations include abuse of office for personal enrichment and engaging in activities capable of causing breach of peace among the Ondo State Cabinet members. The impeachment notice, which was announced by Jumoke Akindele, the Speaker of the House at plenary today, is said to have been served on the Deputy Governor personally, pasted on the wall of his residence, and published in a national daily. Meanwhile, in a swift response, the Ondo State Deputy Governor, Ali Olanusi, says he is yet to be officially informed of the impeachment move by the State House of Assembly. In a text message sent to Channels Television, Mr. Olanusi says the Assembly is familiar with the act of making laws and passing resolutions without sitting or recording. The Deputy Governor promises to give a full response to the Assembly's move, according to him, when he is officially and lawfully informed. Mr. Olanusi dumped the PDP for the APC 2 days to the March the 28th elections, but at that time the state governor's team said the Deputy Governor has the right to make any political decision, and they wished him well. The President of Ghana, Mr. John Mahama, has joined other world leaders in commending President Goodluck Jonathan's statesmanship after the presidential elections. Mr. Mahama, who is also the ECOWAS chairman, hailed what he described as the maturity displayed by President Jonathan in congratulating President-elect General Muhammadu Buhari after the polls. He is in the country in his capacity as the chairman of ECOWAS to congratulate the Nigerian people following successful elections. According to him, Nigeria and Ghana share almost the same views on international issues and will continue to have good relations.
Yes. How are you? Good to see you. I have been conferring with President Jonathan on several issues in respect of ECOWAS. We were due to have a summit, and so we discussed issues to do with the summit and a few outstanding issues in relation to ECOWAS. I also took the opportunity to commend him for his statesmanship that was displayed, after the election. We all knew that he congratulated President-elect Buhari after the election results, and he conceded, and I think that was a very, very great sign of maturity, and he has earned the respect of all Nigerians, but also the respect of the international community for what he did. We expect a smooth transition, and considering the role that Nigeria plays in ECOWAS, being the biggest economy, not only in our sub-region, but on the whole continent, Nigeria is a very important member of our sub-regional bloc, and we expect that Nigeria will continue to play its prominent role in the ECOWAS sub-region.
Meanwhile, President Mahama says the attacks on foreigners in South Africa is regrettable and the source of concern on the continent. Mr. Mahama told journalists after a private meeting with President-elect retired General Muhammadu Buhari that ECOWAS is working to create an integrated continent where people can move freely. He described the recent xenophobic attacks as a setback for integration, especially in South Africa, which has investments in different countries in Africa. President Mahama says the South African government must take a strong action and ensure that those found guilty of killing foreigners are punished.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good to see you again. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, how are you, Vice President? How's it?
In part two, after the break, Ondo State Governor Adams Oshomole tells Nigerian workers to put the incoming government on its toes. That's in a moment. To join us again.